In the previous video, we've discussed ambient light. In today's video, we're going to discuss the directional light. And for this light, we're going to use that light helper. Let's dive right into it. First thing first, I'm going to leave the ambient light, and I just want to make it pretty decent, 0.025, that we see the object that we created. Let's add our directional light. I would call it DIR, which stands for shortened directional, and then light 1. The reason why I add 1 at the end, because there might be many of those, and you gotta really make sure that those aren't repeating anywhere, so that you're good to go. So directional light is here. It receives the color and it receives the intensity as well as the ambient light before. So there are no extra parameters. And the color, let's say I want to make color, I don't know, let's say gray, or no, let's actually make it white for today's video. Let's make it white. So we would say OXFF, which stands for white. Everything is 255 with 0, and the intensity, let's say just for now, just for 1. And let's actually add this into the scene. Let's add it, and we're going to add directional light 1. And now nothing is going to happen, or something is going to happen. Yep, something had happened. And as you can see, here is the shadow now that is going around. And I want to make sure what is going on. Where are our coordinates? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the axis helper, because we want to, really make sure that everything that we're doing works fine, and we know what we're doing. And that is really important, because when you learn something, you really got to know, why am I doing this? What is the reason? And I'm going to make it 30. Let's make it 30. And let's add it to the scene and add axis helper. Go over here. Okay, here's our axis helper, and here's our Y, here's our X, and here's our Z axis that is directed right on us, so we don't see this. In order to see our Z coordinate, we would just say Y is equal to 1, just to, raise up a little bit. So here's our Z direction. And since I made it to 30 and we're 30 units away from it, I didn't see the end of it. If I'll make it 35, I will see the end. So here's the end of it. And now I want to really make sure, where is our directional light? Like, where is it, okay? In order to figure this out, we're going to use the helper. So we're going to say const. We would copy dir light 1, and at the end we would add helper that is equal to new 3. I think I messed up, const. I usually do that. And we would say directional light helper, and it receives the light itself for which we want to have the helper, and we want to have it for dlight 1. So we would put it as the first parameter, dir light 1, and the next parameter is size, which size you want to have it. Let's say 10 for now, and close it. Then you have to add it into the scene, and it has to be after the dir light 1, because there is no way to put it before, because it's not yet initialized, so it wouldn't make any sense, just believe me. Now let's go over here and take a look. Where is that? And it's right here. That's why it works so badly, because I don't know, like, it's, what is the, yeah, it's like where Z is, right? So basically it has coordinate of 0, 0, 0 something, or 1, 0 something. In order to check this out even more, I would have to go a little bit higher than that. And as you can see, here is our rectangle, yeah. Now I want to put it a little bit farther from the tube, because it doesn't make sense to put it right inside of the tube. So what I would do is I would change the position for the light, And if you want to change position for the helper, that wouldn't make any sense as well, because nothing is going to work. The helper is just a helper. It works out from the dear light 1. So that's why we would change the position for dear light 1. And we would say, because I want to raise it up, so I would say y is equal to, so what is this size? 4 and then 30. And it's between 1. So let's say 25, okay? Let's say 25. Let's check this out. And here's this now. What I want to do is I want to totally remove the ambient light and just look at what it will look like. You see? It is the difference. So the directional light goes from straight from some, spot, and it lights it, okay? It lights it. It doesn't go from everywhere as ambient light does, okay? And here, like, this is the basic usage, how you use it. If you want to rotate it, you would rotate it. So you would go here and you would say, instead of position, you would say rotation. And probably, I don't know, you want to rotate it by the X, and you would say whatever, 1, because it will make a difference, I think. Let's check. Now, it's interesting it did rotate, though. Rotation X1, let's say 10. Didn't do anything as well. Let's say Y, because I'm not really sure. Yeah, it looks like we can't rotate the light, but it's pretty weird. It has to work, though. Let's say rotate Z. So what 100 will result to? Nothing. It looks like we can't rotate it, and it's pretty weird. Try to figure it out of this lesson. Now let's change Z, or no, let's change X just in order to make sure that position works fine. Yeah, and position works fine. And it looks like that basically it rotates it, right? X essentially rotated it. Well, that's a little bit weird though, but it looks like that it works this way. So, and I think this is pretty much all about the directional light. You can play around with this, coordinates X, Y, Z, but make sure you figure out of this lesson why we can't rotate. That would be kind of like your homework. Why we couldn't rotate the light and why is that working this way. So that's pretty much it. Thank you.